Next, I'd like to ask Bill Whiteheart to come forward. You will notice in your program that it says William Williams, but Bill points out that although he and Bill Williams look a lot alike, that he's the one from Forsyth County. Bill Williams is the director of our aviation division and is about 6'5". Other than that, they are pretty much identical. Isn't that true, Bill? Bill is chairman of the Winston-Salem Forsyth Airport Authority and is also a lame duck member of the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, David. I can tell you that when I was having lunch today, I had the supreme pleasure of sitting and chatting with Carol Dobyns Fair. I am convinced that the brief prepared remarks that I have for you to share with you today will be injustice to her. She is a gem. I told Carol that last year I had the honor of presenting Dick and Smith Reynolds. And I told her what a pleasure it was to present someone this year that's alive. And I can tell you, Carol Dobyns Fair is the personification and poster child of alive. It has been a high honor for me to serve as a county commissioner in Forsyth County, as well as the chairman of the Airport Commission of Forsyth County. But one of the most honorable pastimes that I have is to brag about some of the finest people the good Lord ever blew breath into, and that's the Piedmont Aviation family. Mr. Thomas H. Davis and the thousands that shared his dream of Piedmont Airlines were in essence the 20th century counterpart of the 19th century Richard Joshua Reynolds in terms of good old-fashioned economic development. And I'm talking about jobs, prosperity, and dynamic growth. One of those dreamers in the Piedmont family was Carol Dobyns Fair. Early in Carol's career as a flight attendant, she became well known and respected for her gift to make friends of customer passengers with her special style of hospitality, mirth, and genuine concern for their comfort, their safety, and above all, her unique talent to make each flight a pleasurable travel experience to destination. Mastery of these professional skills established Carol as a role model among the rest. However, according to the research that I have done with the retired executives of the Piedmont family, Carol was equally known and appreciated by management for her practical experience and her ergonomic perception in producing new innovations in galley design as well as other creature comforts for passengers. According to one retired Piedmont executive, Carol was simply the greatest asset, even more so than any DC-3, Martin 404, YS-11, Fairchild, or Boeing aircraft the company ever flew. Please help me recognize the so richly deserved induction into the Hall of Fame and help me welcome Carol Dobyns Fair.
Thank you, Bill. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. I would like to thank all the members and sponsors of the North Carolina Transportation Hall of Fame for this honor today. And I would like to just ask you, are you ready for takeoff? Fasten your seatbelts. In March of 1963, Carol Dobyns flew off into the world of aviation, transportation. Little did she know that she was going to be flying off into history. And the books that have been written are just absolutely wonderful history of Piedmont Airlines. The first book was written by Frank Elliott, Flight of the Pacemaker, and the second book that is fresh off the press this year is the book by Richard Elder, History of Piedmont Airlines. And I have been honored in both of these books, and I had fun talking with the authors and all the stories that we told. And you might enjoy reading these books if you don't have them already or haven't read them. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the change that I've seen in the industry in the 46 years that I've been flying, 45, almost 46 in March. Probably the two most challenging things have been in security and technology. I was working on 9/11, and that was very scary. We spent 4 days in Halifax, Nova Scotia before we could come into the States. So since then, security was pretty good before, but since then, if you have traveled lately, you know how hard it is to get from the door of the terminal to the door of the aircraft. You have to almost give them your firstborn child if you had one, almost. But it's very difficult. When I first started flying, it was so sweet, pure, and innocent. We would park your car right by the terminal building, get out. The airplane was sitting right there. You go through a little gate that wasn't even locked, and you would go through operations and say, hey, fellas, I'm here. I'm ready to board. And they'd say, well, we'll put them on in about 30 minutes. And you would go out and check your emergency equipment and your supplies to get you to your first station, your first catering station, and then you would take off into this world of pure innocence. Today, it's different. Today, we are fingerprinted. We are iris printed. They take a little picture of your eyeball and you look through a lens and a door will open for you. It's like James Bond almost. And then we have this badge that we wear around our neck all the time. And if you are caught in a sterile area without your badge, you go straight to stewardess jail. And I say that. I say that because, I mean, your company could be fined or you could be fined and taken off your trip. But then the technology part. And my brother Lee, he was a electrical engineer, taught me everything that I know about a computer, which is not very much. He gets pretty put out with me sometimes. But anyway,